Welcome back behind the velvet rope. Let's just get right into it today because we are joined by the one, the only Miss Gina Gershon. As I lose my voice, welcome. We were just talking, you're an LA native, but you're in New York. You've been in New York for many, many years. So it's always great when I talk to someone like, that lives in the city that I love so much.
I'm a New Yorker. At this point, I'm a full-fledged, I've been a New Yorker for years. I think after like 20 years, you become an official New Yorker.
I kind of think so too. Do you ever miss, like, I know you grew up in LA, you went to Beverly Hills High School. Do you ever miss living in LA?
No. I don't. I never really loved living in LA. Even before I was old enough to say, oh, LA, to have that snobbery. I never really loved LA. The energy there to me is strange. I don't know. As soon as I came back east, I was just an East Coaster. Like, I feel grounded here. Maybe it's the stone that the city's on. I mean, LA's okay. It's nice to, walk on the beaches, and growing up there, it's nice to go out to Joshua Tree, or you can go skiing, but it's getting harder and harder there with fires and the air quality. And I don't know, it's just never been my town.
I get it. I love it. Yeah. I have friends there, but it's never been my town either.
Yeah.
I know you got into acting at such a young age. Like, was there ever anything else you wanted to do? Like, was it just always acting for you? Or did you ever have?
I had an idea I wanted to be a hit lady when I was around 10. I didn't quite understand it, but something about I like the spy part, and I like the espionage part. I didn't really love, it was like, oh, killing bad guys, but I just thought there was something cool about flying around the world and getting rid of bad guys. So I associated that with a hit lady. I don't know why, but I didn't pursue that career.
Well, here we are, right?
Here we are. Never too late.
Never too late. Like, I just picture, like, you could have been like in all black and like in like knee-high boots, like that could have been a moment.
I do that anyway. Who needs to be a hit lady to wear all black and knee-high boots?
Exactly. What was it like going to like Beverly Hills High School? Was it like what people envision? Like, was it like a who's who and everyone wanted to go into the business at a young age and it was people's children?
I didn't grow up in Beverly Hills. I grew up in the Valley. I'm a full-fledged Valley girl, original Valley girl. And when I had to change schools for all sorts of reasons, I didn't want to go to Beverly High. I thought, oh my God, that's like the city. Can't we go to Calabasas or the beach? I didn't even understand why anyone would want to live in New York, because like there are no trees. Like, I was a surfer girl. So coming to Beverly, I didn't go there until 10th grade. So everyone had already been there and they'd started in 9th. But I have to say, when I got to the school, it was very different than what I was used to. There were chef salads and pizza and donuts, Winchell's donuts in the cafeteria, which I thought was pretty great. And they had a theater, and they had a big theater, and they had a swimming pool underneath the basketball court, and they had a planetarium, so I could take astronomy. So as far as a school goes, I was like, whoa, this is intense. I wasn't used to that. So I really, in a way, it was good. I really appreciated what a great school it was. And then, I was just surrounded by much more inspiring people. I think I was getting very depressed in the Valley because my friends weren't really doing anything. And all of a sudden I have some groovy guy playing in the cafeteria going like, you're so good, let's go play in the little theater. We'd bust in and play. And, it was Lenny Kravitz, right? And I'm like, you're really good. Like, oh, you're really good, And I had like people like Tina Landau, my best friend. Like, you had a very great group of artistic, a community there, which definitely upped my game. And as far as like, oh wow, like, let's do cool things, and you're around talented people, so it made me try harder. And they had a great theater department and a dance department. All my friends that I used to dance with and do shows, I'm still friends with, now. They're my best friends. So artistically, it was a pretty great school.
Could you tell like just how talented Lenny Kravitz was even back then?
Oh yeah, I thought it was really, I mean, I remember like kind of rocking out in the cafeteria. And I would think I was the only one there standing there with him. He was playing in between, you know, his name was Romeo Blue then. I just thought he was so cute and so talented. And we were in the pit course together because we weren't big enough to be on the real stage. We'd be like, we're gonna be on the big stage one day. Yeah, we're gonna be on the big stage. So yeah, no, I believed him from day one. He looked exactly the same. He was always gorgeous and always talented and always sweet.
Wow. And
Yeah.
you guys stayed in, I mean, you were in a video of his later in life.
Yeah. I've done 2 videos for him. Yeah. He called me, said, you have to do this. And I was like, okay, if you do this, you have to do this. He's like, okay, I needed a favor for, that's a long story. But yeah, he's, you know, like family, really. I haven't seen him for a while, but I love him.
I love him. When you
He's a good
look,
guy.
he is, I mean, and the music is just unbelievable. When you look back
Yeah.
to like your first film role, I mean, I know it was a small part and Pretty in Pink. Do you have memories of like, you know, John Hughes, Molly Ringwald, John Crye? Do you have memories from that film, or does that just seem like another lifetime?
Um, it was definitely another lifetime. I remember meeting John Hughes, and I, you know, I had such a small part because things had been cast. And so I was in the store in one of the scenes. I was in this, you know, worked at the store or something. And he thought I really worked there. And so I just kind of went along with it. He kept asking me questions. I'm like, yes, this is where the shirts are. I mean, I don't know. I just kind of went with it. So I think he was surprised when all of a sudden I was one of the actors. So that was kind of fun.
He thought you actually worked at the store.
Yes, I guess my acting was so good as a sales girl. He bought it.
Obviously.
Uh-huh.
Do you have, I mean, you were in so many of like these classic, you know, you were in Face Off and like Cocktail. Do you have like a specific movie that you were a part of, like where you might have had like a smaller part, which was like just a really memorable experience, or just like a really difficult shoot, you know, for like a smaller part, like, wow, this should have been a breeze and this has turned into.
Mm, you know, no, I think I have mainly good memories from smaller films. You know, The Player, which I made it up as I went along, is one of my favorite memories. I mean, I got to work with Robert Altman. It was such a gift. He's so incredible. And, you know, it was already cast. And by the time I got there, he's like, what are you doing here? I was just trying to get cast. I was meeting the producer for the next film, and we just started talking. And I guess he liked me. And he's like, well, you know how to improvise, right? I went, yeah. Yeah, I never improvised in my life. I said, sure. He said, great, let's just make it up. And so he said, here for these 2 weeks, let's just make up your character. I said, really? He said, yeah. And then, so we just got to make it up. And he'd be like, okay, kid, go. And I'd be like, blah, 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 and say whatever. And then by the end, he had written me a whole scene. So that was kind of cool.
Is it as hard